Hey friends, how are you today on this Wednesday afternoon, or should I say Wednesday evening? So this week, Website Wednesday, I have some important news to tell you about tomorrow. If you are a WordPress user, which most of my clients are, and most people that I know are, if you are a blogger who uses WordPress, if you're a business with a blog on your page, you'll want to stay tuned for what I have to tell you in this video. So basically what the hype is about tomorrow. WordPress is set to release WordPress 5.0. It's the biggest update in 10 years. The reason why it's a big update is because they are releasing a new editor called Gutenberg. And if you've talked to me in the last few weeks, I probably mentioned that to you if you're one of my clients or potential clients. So basically what this Gutenberg is a new editor that's going to change the way that you WordPress, the way that we're all familiar with. It's going to change the way that we write our blog posts and edit our pages. It gives us a little bit more flexibility. I would say a lot more flexibility and a lot of creative control visually to put things to where we want them to be from a front end perspective. As you know, if you've been using WordPress, you know, you're very limited once you get ready to start a blog post. There's a big text box that opens up, or a window that opens up, that only allows you to maybe bold text, put in your image. It'll pretty much allow you to do whatever you need to do. And it's been pretty solid for the last 10 years. However, this change is needed. We've been needing to have an update with this as far as I'm concerned. We need more flexibility and more control over the content that we're putting out there. So basically this is going to work just if you've ever worked with a drop and drag website or builder, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And what they're calling this is blocks is what they call it. And so you're basically able to move around blocks however you want them to be from the front end perspective. And so that's what Gutenberg is. That's the main question that I've gotten. So I only felt like it was right for me to come on and address this today since it is Website Wednesday. And the next biggest question that I've gotten is what should you do tomorrow with the update coming? So what you should do is just embrace change. That is my biggest tip for you, is to embrace change. Even if you don't really know, like that's what I did. I just jumped right in and I went ahead and said, you know what, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and try this new editor. It can't be that bad. So when I got in there, I actually loved it. It didn't do anything to my site. It didn't break my site or anything like that. So the big hype about it is that this update was supposed to come a few weeks ago. However, a lot of bugs are still being worked out, a lot of kinks still being worked out. And the issue is we don't really know how it's going to affect certain plugins. So this time of them pushing it back was because a lot of developers had not had a chance to test their plugin or to make sure that things are just going to run smoothly whenever this big update comes. So that's why it kept being pushed back. And so far today, I haven't received any news that it's going to be pushed back. So as far as I know, tomorrow it's going to be a go situation. So what should you do tomorrow? Well, like I said, embrace change is what I recommend. You can also choose to update the 5.0 to the 5.0 WordPress update, and then you can still continue to use the classic editor, but you'll need to install the classic editor plugin. So if you are familiar with uploading plugins, I would say if you're not ready for the change just yet, but you want the other features, you can go ahead and install the classic editor plugin, and that should work just fine for you. And the last thing that I would recommend is to wait to update because I feel like that's just going to put you further and further behind. So I would say just go ahead and embrace this now. That way, by the end of the year, you know, there's going to be many more changes coming to WordPress, and then you'll already be familiar with things. So you can definitely like wait a couple of days if you want. If you're one of those people that like to play it safe, I know I do that sometimes, is I'll wait for at least a week or so to see if there's any major things that happen. But I don't really foresee that, especially not with any of the sites that I've built. So if you're a client of mine and you have more questions, if you see tomorrow that something is not working right, you can always contact me. So the last thing that I want to address is, you know, a lot of people have been asking me, like, how do you feel about it? You know, have you tried it? Yes, again, I've tried it. I actually love it. And I think it's going to give you more creative control and more flexibility to be able to move things around the way that you want in your post and on your pages. And I can only see it getting better from here. I'm hoping that WordPress is, you know, headed in the right direction, and that they will continue to develop this this editor. And I think, like I said, it's going to give you a lot more flexibility, because I know when I was blogging in 2012, I felt like you should have more options, you know, and I would have to use certain plugins to have those options if I wanted to, you know, do funny things with my text, you know. And if you're a blogger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're very limited. You can bold something, you can italicize it, but sometimes when you move certain things around, you know, this may mess up, that may mess up this or whatever. So with Gutenberg, you're going to have a lot more flexibility. So I think it's a win-win situation. Again, if I were you, I would just go ahead and try out the new editor. And actually, if you want to try it out tonight before the update hits, hey, have at it. And if you have any questions, you can always reach me at hello@lashondawells.com. If you are a client of mine, again, if you have any problems, please contact me. You know how to get in contact with me by phone, by text, by email. Let me know if you have any concerns or any questions. Until then, I will speak with you guys a little bit later.